Welcome to another episode of Musical Peoples and Journeys. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go down into the forest today, because we're there and we're reviewing the latest rock albums. And because today we are reviewing Avatar. And don't go down into the forest. Oh, do you want to go down in the forest and find out what we're going to say about this amazing album? Or not amazing? Who knows? Like and subscribe. I'm going to pitch it now. Hit the like if you agree with us, not agree with us as we cavort. Let us know. Because today, Ian, Pete, Dom and Trish will tell us what they think. Now, he came back with placards and begging letters and lobbying to the Houses of Parliament to ask to come back after a year's absence. So we're fitting on the finale, the last album of the day. We start with Ian. Ian, don't go down into the forest, or would you want to, based on this album?
Well, I would. If I want action, I wouldn't go to the Houses of Parliament. I wouldn't go that way. Don't go down into the forest. I disagree with that statement. Do go down in the forest. So the
take your dog with you.
Say again, sorry, Pete.
I said, and take your dogs with you. It's lovely weather right now for walking the forest with the dogs.
100%, absolutely. And you know what? The opener, which is, let's face it, apart from a couple of words, is pretty much an instrumental. And that's always a bold move, to have such a heavy instrumental piece. It is a song, there are lyrics in that song, but was, amazing. Absolutely incredible. What a build-up. And it is a bold move to do that as an opener. But I think it worked. Absolutely awesome track. Then, No, we went into heavy death metal, screaming. I don't know, everything I really, really don't like about metal. And that's not to say it's bad. I just don't appreciate it. Call me a heathen if you will, but I don't appreciate it. What makes up a good album? Variety. We get absolutely tons of this. We've got pirate metal. I love the lovely Captain Goat. Pirate melodic pirate metal is what I call that track. That was incredible. There was Howling at the Waves, gorgeous. So carrying on the sea theme, incredible. Tonight we must be warriors. Warriors. I couldn't work out what was actually best for that song, to be fair. So don't go into the forest. Do go into the forest. I love it. Be careful you don't trip up on a route of screamo or death metal. But there is, in many different varieties, plenty of good old-fashioned metal.
Talk about good old-fashioned. She's good. She's old-fashioned. Or is she? What did she think? Trish?
I'm definitely the old.
Trish, I tell you what I like about you, Trish, is that you always remember you're on mute. Always. Never miss a beat. Always remember. Always before you start talking, you unmute yourself. I think, it's a skill that some people just don't have.
And you're not the old, you are definitely the fashioned. 100%.
Oh, thank you. So, Avatar. What do you get when you mix heavy metal, power metal, progressive rock, growlo, melodic rock, sea shanty with a bit of creeper vibes thrown in for good measure too? Avatar is what you get. Does this eclectic mix of the above genres in rock music work? In theory it shouldn't, but it bloody well does in this genius of an album, Don't Go Into the Forest. Avatar has sprinkled some magic on this album to take you on a mystical musical journey. There is something for every listener on this. The title track for me is my favourite on the album, as it did take my imagination somewhere while listening to it. You could place yourself there. The album does teeter on a bit of cheesiness, but we all love that and need that indulgence sometimes. This is a wonderful album, a myriad of brilliant concepted tracks. This makes me want to go into the forest, even though Avatar tell me don't go.
I tell you what, one of the reasons they say don't go down the forest, because you'll find Dom down there. That's why.
And also,
Dom, what do you think?
I was really torn with this album. Actually, I think I've also been a bit harsh with it, but there's a lot of diversity in the album itself. Stylistic, and it ranges from you got the heavy metal, you got some death metal kind of influences in there, and then there's lots of kind of that mainstream sound. So there's kind of a real variety. Strong writing is good, and their musicianship is on point. Lots of clever arrangements and the vocals there as well. For me, I just found it a little bit inconsistent. There's a few kind of misfires in there. I have to say, Howling at the Waves, it was not my favourite at all. I found it just a little bit dull. It didn't quite work, and that was just my whole feel around the album. There's a little bit of unevenness, some great elements in there. It's not really taking the band anywhere new, and the occasional little miss that I could quite happily skip. But it's a strong album with a lot of invention in it.
Pete. Do you know they're Dutch, Pete? They're Dutch out. They're a Dutch band.
This is the point where you say that I am strong with a lot of invention in me.
No, I'm just hoping that you know that they're like the biggest Dutch band going, and therefore you have to give them a 5. So.
Wait, what? They're Dutch?
Actually, they're Dutch. Definitely Dutch.
Really?
No.
Wait up.
They're not Dutch. I don't. Anyway, but there we go.
They're Swedish.
So if you were in the forest, Pete, I would definitely say don't go there. Are you in the forest?
Well, like I said, it's right now it's cold and clear skies over here in the Netherlands, so it's beautiful weather to take the dogs out and go for a walk in the forest and have them rummage about and just enjoy watching it all. As I'm enjoying watching Dom's dog. Dom, get the cutie out. What's his name?
It's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, lovely name. Oh, I love dogs. Anyway, I was kind of hoping to follow up on Ian because he touched on a lot of good points, and I both extremely agree and disagree with the things that he is saying. Extremely disagreeing in the sense that the first track of this album, when I started listening to it, I was like, "What the bloody hell is this?" I felt like I was listening to American Civil War era music at some point. And then the second track rolled around, and I literally had to take my phone out to check Spotify to see if I was still listening to the same band, because it was just so different, that sound. There's indeed a lot of variety, as people have touched on before, in this album. But to me, it's the other way around as Ian experienced it. Like, he enjoyed the first track, and then the second track got too heavy for him. I did not enjoy the first track, and then the second track got heavy, and I was like, yeah. So yeah, then it started to sound a bit like the new wave of American heavy metal genre to me. Some groove metal in there, which I find thoroughly enjoyable. And yeah, after that, the album is just like an up and down of different sounds, of levels of heaviness. And me being me, as soon as things get a little bit heavy, there for it. I start like head bopping, and I'm like, yeah, this is some good music. So I fully agree with Ian as well. Howling at the Waves, what a track! What a beautiful track. Dom, how did you not enjoy that song? It was hauntingly beautiful. So yeah, that about wraps it up. It's got a lot of ups and downs. It's got a lot of variety in it. Some of which I like when it gets heavy. Some of which I don't like. It was an interesting listen.
So I would be a hypocrite if I didn't say I like this album, because I say I like variety in my album, as long as it kind of gels to together. And this had oodles of variety, oodles of it. it was porous in terms of variety, and it all worked brilliant. I loved that. I thought, I like that American kind of summer beat, and then bang, that got to heavy, and then it had that cheesy power metal with Captain Goat. 4 songs hit my cool playlist. 4. Which is a rare thing for an album to do. So Captain Goat being one of them. Don't Go Down in the Forest. Death and Glitz. Death and Glitz. It had an element of pop sense to it as well. I mean, one of the phrases I've learned from this thing was come from Dom, which is like, there's a hell of a pop sense to it. And it did. And then, oh my God, Howling at the Waves. What a tune. What a melody. Oh my God, this album was just, I mean, the thing is with it as well is like, you know, we touched on it with Dayseeker and Creature of the Night. The lyricism in this one, the storytelling in this album as well is just absolutely superb. What an album! I got to say, probably one of my top 10 albums of the year for me personally, in terms of what I like to listen to, and in terms of variety, ticked all of my boxes. You know, we talked about Mammoth, and that ticked one box, a sweet spot, brilliant. You know, this in terms of variety, and everything it kind of brought to this table is brilliant. I mean, Dom said they don't know where they're going. They know where they're going. They're an eclectic kind of musical band that want to storytell, not just with lyrics, but with music. And sometimes that really works. And I felt it really worked on this album. Absolutely goddamn superb. Superb. Will it be superb enough from the heathens that won't go down in the forest, that want to stay safe on their goddamn porches? Oh, I'm not going down in there. It's too eclectic, this music. Or not? Let's find out, shall we? Let's start with you then, Trish. What did you give it?
Well, I think Pete should be able to give my score. He seems to know me so well.
Pete, what did Trish give?
It's a 5.
It's a 5. It's a 5. It's a 5. Dom.
I think I've been a bit harsh here, but I went 3. It's still on the right side of good. It's not bad. It's on the right side. 3, I'm afraid.
Will also give it a 3. Simon also give it a 3. Pete?
I fully agree with Dom. Like, in retrospect, I would have wanted to give them a little bit of a higher score, because when this album is good, it's really good, but it's just not consistently good. So I ended up also giving it a 3.
Ian?
I was really torn. I changed my score between 3.5 and 4 so many times, and in the end, consistency and the amount of heavy and death metal type of stuff, I aired on 3.5.
Again, the death metal is the good part.
When you say good, do you mean not enjoyable?
I mean exceptional. I mean, like, jizz in your pants.
Are we talking about Nigel?
No, he's talking about getting a room with you, Ian. Anyway, so I also give this a 5. So we got. So I tell you what I'm going to do, Trish. When there's 7 votes, we normally drop 2 of the votes and keep 5. Let's do it the other way around. We'll drop the 5 votes and just keep the 2 votes this time, which will give it a perfect 5. Okay, we got to play fair. Trish, I'm not giving up my 5. I'm giving yours up. Will's not here, so we'll give up his 3. So you guys, you can have something, I suppose. Oh, that's such a shame. If this had got in, I would have picked this as my wild card, even though it probably wouldn't have done very well. But anyway, so it got a whopping 3.5. 308 out of 630, so that's top half of albums of all time, and 114th for the year. So it does not get into Hall of Fame, but hey, you know, what an album, man. What an album to finish off. What do you people out there, do you agree, disagree? Hit the comments, hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you ever so much to Trish, to Dom, to Pete. Thank you very much for your guest appearance, Ian. May we see you again in the new year.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me. It was a real pleasure coming back.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll see more of you in the new year. Who knows? For now, though, thank you very much. Keep on rocking and tune in next month. Well, we've got another 8 episodes with the other retrobates, so maybe tune into those and see what you think. If not, hey, album of the year. We've got 21 albums that we are going to battle, which would be our top 11 albums plus 10 wildcards that we picked that have made our Hall of Fame, which is going to be super exciting. Plus, we are doing, for the first time, Song of the Year. Ooh, juicy stuff. Thank you very much for joining us. Keep rocking. Goodbye. Keep safe.
Bye.
Bye.